Okay guys, it's Jesse from JH Restorations here, and I want to give you a little history on the little C10 here before we get the motor swap going. A little bit of reason why we did these trucks. I grew up with them going to high school, college. They're become very popular in the industry right now. It was more than that. I've always had a love with the country. You know, great-grandparents grew up in farms in Texas. They always had old pickup trucks. So what's cooler than a great shop truck, right? So we're following some of the new trends, obviously dropping LS in everything. This tired old V8 is just about had it, so we're going to drop in this new LS motor, modern tech. We're working with Edelbrock on the fuel injection system. We've got some dirty dingle mounts and engine conversion stuff for the truck. So we've already done a little bit of work to it, dropped it, lowered it, put an updated stereo in it. We're going to go ahead and do air conditioning later on down the road. But the history behind the truck is we just wanted something cool to drive. It stands out. The truck came out of Washington State. It originally spent all the winters in California, was never driven in Washington, so it's a survivor truck as you see it, dents, stings, rust, all that other good stuff. So we're just about to get down and dirty with it and have some fun. Hope you guys enjoy it. We decided to go with the bright orange wheels just because we wanted to maintain that sort of summery California feel to the truck. I mean, it's a bright blue truck. It's got the white accent down the body line. We just want something a little different. Have the truck stand out. I mean, it is a shop truck, so we want people to go, hey, who the hell built that thing? So they're going to look at the door and see the JH Restorations decal, and the orange is a great accent to the blue. So it just stands out, and you'd be surprised the number of people that really pay attention to it. They're the original center caps. What I did is I knew the look I was going for. I wanted a nice steel wheel with a beauty ring on it, and I went out and sourced NOS caps for it. So we kind of followed with the orange and the cap, took it up a notch, again, just to stand out, but yeah, it completed the look of the truck just the way I wanted it. Some of the other things we did to the truck were like we had a tonneau cover on the back of it. Originally it was only like black, red, brown, and a navy blue available. So we actually bought a tonneau cover from Tuxedo, and then it had it modified in canvas blue. So it kind of flowed with the truck. It's not exactly the same, but you know, nothing in that era matched exactly. We just wanted to kind of remain true to the feel of the truck. As far as some of the other appearances of the truck, we've always liked the long, low look of a pickup truck, so the long bed just makes it look, you know, more aggressive, a little more mean, in my opinion anyway. The industry standard kind of is right now, we're just chopping down the long beds to short bed trucks, and those are becoming harder to find. We've always liked the long bed trucks, so we got it down, lowered on the ground with QA1, did a static drop on it, so it's got coilovers in all four corners. We were one of the first trucks to have it installed, if not the first truck to have it installed on. We had kind of a shop day here where we had all the crew working flat out to get the job done. Turned out beautiful. The truck ride's really nice. Not quite as low as I want to go with it. There's some more work to be done to get it down a little bit lower. And then we added the disc brakes to the front. AZ Pro Performance came up with a disc brake kit, and eventually four-wheel disc brake kit. Right now it's just front discs on the truck. So we're working through all those issues. Not even issues, but we're working through all those upgrades as we go. If we go delve a little deeper into the truck, you see some of the light interior upgrades we did to it. We left the dealer installed aftermarket air conditioning in the truck. We're working with Vintage Air to put a new condenser, dryer, and their hose kit in the front of the truck. But as far as the interior goes, we went with the RTX gauges from Dakota Digital. The original gauges weren't reading properly, fuel level was never accurate. So we wanted to do that upgrade to the interior of the truck. Everything looks the same. It looks like it fits in just like the old truck. We wanted to maintain most of the original look of the vehicle. It feels has a more classic feel. It's more fun to drive, and you just kind of leave it as original as you can inside. This truck was super clean. It's got original vinyl interior in it. Dash isn't even cracked. It's got the original rubber floor mat in the truck. We just wanted to not molest it too much. Just kind of make it comfortable to drive and more accurate and fun on the highways.
So that's it.
All right, along with the engine upgrade that we're going to do in the truck, there's a lot of add-on companies that were working with us. We've got DeWitt's Radiator out of Michigan. They have an LS swap Squarebody rad that we're going to be using in the truck. They helped us with the electric fan setup on it. Keeps everything cooling the way that you should for an LS engine. It gets rid of the old radiator that could be clogged, too few rows to run it properly. We just want to make sure that this kind of goes off without a hiccup. We're on a bit of a time constraint to get it all done. So we're going to drop the motor in. We worked with Hooker on the exhaust, and we're going to have a custom stainless steel dual exhaust run out the back of the truck, keeping it nice and quiet. All that rumble and reverberation in the cab hopefully be gone. We're doing with the fueling system along with Edelbrock's ProFlow 4 for the LS. We're going to be feeding that system with dual saddle tanks. So we left the original style tanks in the truck. We went to the 87 fuel tanks that were fuel injected. So we're going to put fuel pumps in the tanks, have them go, they deadhead, so what happens is they can't flow back into the tank, so we're going to put a Y block in, put two Corvette filters in line, and then run a Y block ahead of that to fuel the system so we can easily swap between both tanks. Gives us better range and fuel mileage. These trucks have pretty small tanks in them, relatively speaking. So we're going to try to do that upgrade, kind of just tie it all together. We'll take the old truck and make it run and operate like a new one does. So what we did when we came down to choosing a fuel system for the LS engine, we wanted to remain somewhat stock appearing, hence the GM corporate blue. We left it like that, the original engine's blue. We wanted to kind of open the hood and it would still flow. We worked with Edelbrock's ProFlow 4 system. It's got a throttle body on top and it's port injected, so it kind of hides it somewhat. I mean, the coils and the fuel rail kind of give it away, but it still has that instant feel of an old carbureted motor when you lift the hood. We just found that their systems have worked really well on other projects that we've worked on in the past, and we decided to try it out on this truck to kind of maintain the originality of it. Again, we ran with the Dirty Dingo mounts and everything on the front to get the drive system to work properly. We're going to have AC and high mount alternator on it. Again, just to try to maintain that factory look of the black brackets against the blue motor. One of the other upgrades that we did when we were working with the LS is obviously we don't want to put a 3-speed back behind the new modern technology, so we're going to put an electronically controlled 4L60 transmission. Came out of the 2014 Sierra that the donor motor came out of, so we went through it, put new pan filter gasket on it, new pump seals, the tailstock seal, cleaned it up, detailed it just to run in behind, and it'll all be electronically controlled so it shifts properly behind the engine. So, we did all that just to kind of maintain the smoothness, the drivability. The truck's actually going to make a jaunt down to Texas in September. We want to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch, and we enjoy the drive.